One of the mistakes that I see a lot of companies making, and unwittingly making, when they're hiring security companies to perform testing, they often want to have this hands-off, arm's distance relationship. What winds up happening when you have this attitude of, well, let me hire a company, and the only thing I want them to do is I want to pretend like you're an attacker and see if you can get in because I think it's secure. What you're doing is you're not testing your system, you're testing the tester. You're saying, can this tester, with this amount of time that I'm willing to pay them for, can they get in? But what have you actually accomplished? If they don't get in, does it mean your system's resilient, or does it mean they didn't have enough time, or does it mean they weren't good enough? You actually don't know. But if you can collaborate with them and say, look, here's how the thing's built. A good ethical hacker is gonna be able to say, here are the areas based on your design that are potentially weak. I'm gonna focus my effort on those few areas and see what the problems are. And the metaphor for this is if we can visualize a castle. And the king wants to know, can my enemies break into the castle? So what does the king do? The king sends a pigeon off to some of their loyal nobles, and they say, send me some knights and see if they can get in. And the knights show up, and the knights are looking at a moat. The knights can do one of two things. They can either start counting the alligators in the moat, and maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. They can't necessarily see to the depths, like, there's probably 3 or 4 alligators, I don't know. Or the king can just be like, there's 7 alligators. How would you get across if you know there's 7 alligators in there? Well, here's what I do now. Now I can allocate all my time and effort trying to determine, can that defense be defeated, rather than maybe knowing a partial information about the system and then determining, is that knight good enough to swim across this moat?